Alright guys, welcome back to another ARC update. Today is the 18th. This came out yesterday, the 17th. It came out last night, so we were playing ARC, and when we got off, bam, another update. So just so you guys know or aware how big this was, the download is 1.1 gig. However, the actual install with the new Steam, it shows you up here where it shows you the install part, was 31.9 gig install. So this thing's huge. And just to give you guys an idea, I mean, Wildcard keeps updating this game, which I'm glad they do. This is how many gigabytes the folder for Arc is on my computer. 365 gigabytes. This thing takes up more room on my computer than anything else. Everything else combined is not even this big. This thing's huge. 365 gigabytes. That's just crazy. That's all these updates they keep coming out with. My whole computer is almost completely full now. So, anyway, here's the update. Like I said, 17th. They show us 17th on the PC and on the Xbox as well. I mean, PlayStation, Xbox as well. But all the Xbox and the PlayStation show says fix multiple exploits. That's all it says. So on the PC, this is what it says: fix multiple exploits and fix a bug where the Explorer notes would not unlock properly on Genesis Part 1 and Genesis Part 2. Any missing Genesis Part 2 note can be recollected, and Genesis Part 1 note should be fixed retroactively. However, may require you to respawn on Genesis 1. They fixed a bug where the empty dedicated storage boxes would leave empty bags when destroyed. They added 3 more buttons to the dedicated storage boxes to withdraw 1.15 or 10 items. Now I'm going to tell you, whatever they did last night, totally, I don't know what happened, but my storage box had 1,600 metal in it, and I went and deposited 120 more, and the 1,600 disappeared. And it deposited 120. So I lost 1,600 metal ingots last night. So I don't know how this works, or if it's this, or if it has to do with the mod. I do have a mod. I have superstructures on, so it could be the mod. But let's talk more about this. There's more to this than just this part. If you look at the community crunch, which is the other first page before you go to the forums, there's a web address up there, so survivethearc.com. And then you click on that community crunch, and here's what they said yesterday, and it's quite a bit. I mean, this is a long one. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I'm going to show you guys. So this all has to do with, this was last night. This all has to do with the, so about 7:30, about 7:30 Pacific time. It all has to do with the dedicated storage. So they initially on PC, they rolled out a refactored version of the dedicated storage structure. Our impetus for doing so was optimization and performance improvements for their dedicated servers. Basically, what they were doing was trying to free up space to optimize mostly the PvE servers, because you're not going to have this problem on PvP servers, because you get wiped out all the time by all the dummies that play the game. Excuse me, if you play the game, great. I mean, I just can't stand it, because if you're not on the game, you get destroyed. It'd be cool if you could fight while you're on the game. Like I said many times, my oldest daughter had a point. If you didn't allow people to destroy people that weren't on the game on their official servers, then what people could do is, while they were in the middle of a fight, just if they were losing, just get off the game real quick, and then no one could hurt them anymore. So that makes sense. Maybe they could have like a 5-minute timer or something like that. But anyway, this PvP is just horrible, because you can't play unless you're in one of the big giant tribes, because they can just destroy your stuff while you're not on. Anyway, if you look right here, enough on my PvP rant. This is what's going on. So as I explain it here, and you can read all this, I'm going to kind of pause it here so you guys can see. I'm just going to kind of highlight it real quick. On some of our most populated official servers, we see save files with over 65,000 dedicated storages. Many of them were full. These were PvE servers. Like I said, you're not going to see that on PvP, because everybody gets wiped all the time. As you can imagine, this is a lot of them, like a lot. How does this impact our servers? In our worst case scenario, taking a server with 65,000 dedicated storages, let's assume 70% of those are full. That means we're talking 81,900,000 stacks just from dedicated storage boxes alone. This all contributes to how well the server runs in terms of frame rate, as well as how memory costs, each stacks cost, a little bit of both. So basically what happens is they rework this and they're changing the way it works. So let me kind of scroll down. This is the whole thing right here, so you guys can read it if you want. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, they reworked it so that the stacks aren't all in there anymore. It just shows the number, and you can pull the stacks out. So you can like click it and pull a stack out, or withdraw a stack. You can also withdraw the number of stacks. But so right here, so deposit, we adjust the quality of the said item. So instead of having 1,800 stacks, you have one giant stack basically. So in other words, you don't have all this extra stuff on there that the server has to keep track of. It just keeps track of a number pretty much. So the good news is you'll still be able to withdraw one regular size stack at a time. Should you need to, as the game can calculate what the number would be. So basically, like I said, it keeps track of it. You just won't see it in the inventory. I noticed last night that all of a sudden I couldn't access the inventory in them anymore. You can't see inside the dedicated storage. So that's part of what they did, is you can't actually look inside of it anymore. It's really odd. So the team is working to mitigate some of the changes. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, the transfer all function, dedicated storage to ignore your weight. So that'd be cool. That way, if you want to transfer all, it would just let you take it all out, and then all of a sudden you'd be weighted down. So if you were standing next to something else, you could pull it all in your inventory. We're currently working on some additional QOL changes, quality of life, which will enable players to pull out 1, 5, or 10 items at a time if the entire stack isn't needed. You can click these buttons multiple times to get your desired quantities. I play with Superstructures. Superstructures has an update on it as well to go with this, and that's probably what my problem was. I think his is glitched out right now because of this, and you can't access anything, and my stuff disappeared. But you also have on the Superstructures, you can actually pull out a desired amount. You could tell it how many you want to pull out. So, but you can't look inside the inventory. So we're also working on getting these changes moved over to console as soon as possible. So if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation, they're working on that as well. This includes quality display is different in different locations, and fixing and improving the PlayStation version of the dedicated storage box. So you'll be able to see the quantity of the items on the box itself, similarly to the other platforms. So there you go, guys. That's what they did. It's quite a bit. Like I said, I paused it on there so you guys can read it. I don't want to read the whole thing. No one wants to hear me read stuff. They also put out an EVO event last night, and there's some other stuff down here, Community Corner, which I don't want to scroll on other people's videos. But there you go. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe. I do this every time they come out with an update, and I just want to kind of keep you guys informed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.